Yo, yo, yo. How we doing, everybody? Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Going live for all the hustlers who are dialed in right now. What's up, y'all? If you're watching on the replay, we got our brand new Amazon software is launching on Thursday night. Got early access available for you during the launch event. It's gonna be a great time. I'm super excited. We've been working on this for literally a year, and it's finally coming for you guys. So it's gonna save everybody a bunch of time and money. Excited to share it with you guys. And yeah, let me know what questions I can answer. Probably hang here for 30 minutes or so. It's beautiful. It's finally sunny here. The clouds have gone away for at least an hour or two, right? What's up, y'all? Amor, what's up, Thomas? What's up, Starfall? What up, Johnny? Life's good, Johnny. How's life for you today, man? Good to see you again. You've been a regular on the streams lately. What are Amazon sales looking like recently? Are you pumping some volume? Are you learning the ropes? Where are you at right now? What up, Stipper? Potentially, Merle. We'll be showing you what the software does, why you need it, all that kind of stuff. On the launch event, I'll drop the link in chat for you guys as well. It's gonna be a super good time. Some crazy bonuses, some stuff that we will never ever offer ever again. And yeah, you gotta be on the call to get access to it though. So I'm excited. Super excited. We've been in the lab for a minute. Just started at Amazon. Should be doing FBM or FBA? Good question, man. I would focus more on FBM if you can. The reason for that is it's much faster to learn. Every time you buy an item and list it for sale, you basically get to make the sales twice as fast because you don't have that lag time to FBA, basically. You just learn a whole lot more about the items way faster, all that good stuff. And yeah, I would do FBM if possible. You'll also be sooner to the listings. Like a lot of products when you buy as a beginner, you're not really going to know how to know if it's going to be long-term profitable, short-term profitable, all that kind of stuff. And it takes away a lot of the guesswork because if you're first, it doesn't matter if the price goes down, that kind of stuff. Sweet, Johnny. That's what's up. That's what's up. What up, Joe? How we living? Hope life's good in your neck of the woods. Taking down any any bad guys recently? What's minimum monthly sales a product should have before you buy? Yeah, good question, Axel. Kind of depends on how fast it sells, how profitable it is. Like the lowest I'll ever go is like 20 to 30 sales a month, and that would have to be a really high ROI item. So 70, 80% ROI, that kind of thing. If you find a 2,000 sale per month item and it actually sells that well, and it's a 25, 30% ROI, I might also pull the trigger on that. Just kind of a good little, it's a nice little sliding scale. You just want to have the risk priced in, basically, if you're going to buy slow selling stuff. Thanks for doing the Q&A. Absolutely, Axel. That is not true anymore. You can still ungate with pretty much any retailer website. We've been using, some VitaCost and some Walgreens actually this week for ungating. Plenty of other sites, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, don't let that slow you down, man. What up, Stepper? If you're not ungated yet, is it still smart to send it to a prep center? Yeah, that's what I do, man. Anything that we're gated in, we just send it straight to the prep center. And then as long as the address, like the billing address on the invoice needs to match your seller account, and then you can still use that to get ungated, basically. And that's what we do. I usually only buy 10 if I'm trying to get ungated, let it sit there because I might have to submit a few times. I don't want to fill up the prep center with junk while we're working on getting it ungated, that kind of thing. We'll share all the details on the launch event, Starfall. I'm excited to break it down with you guys. Show you what it does, what it costs, all that kind of stuff, who it's good for. I'm super excited. It's going to change the game though. It's going to be a massive time saver, money saver, all that kind of stuff. It solves a lot of problems that all of us have. Some problems that you didn't even know you had, that we can kind of cut out some steps where you didn't know you were wasting time before. What about branded bundle listings? Yeah, those can be good. I don't know how long that'll last on Amazon, to be honest, just because it seems like a weird loophole a little bit. But while it's here, it's a great way to make some money. There's people who are crushing it with like branded bundles. That's kind of like it's like the evolved version of arbitrage for now. I just don't see it being long-term consistent, just because eventually brands will catch on to it. They won't want it, but whether that's next month or 10 years from now, that's totally up to you. Totally up to fate, I guess. So you might as well make money while it's here, right? It's same kind of philosophy as everything else. Amazon reselling will not be here forever. It's just a fact, but there's no reason not to make money while you can, right? Whether it's 3 to 5 years from now or 50 years from now, who knows how long Amazon reselling will last, right? Might as well make some money, make the connections, build that experience so that you can't fail. You don't have to go back to the job you hate, all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, I got a family member into Amazon. They started watching a bunch of our stuff, and so I was hooking them up with all the roadmap and all that kind of stuff. And they told me they were doing they did like $20,000 already in the last like month or two. So that's super cool. So you can do the exact same thing, right? Might as well make money while you can. How do you keep everything organized for taxes? That's kind of up to whatever makes sense for you, man. I use a combo of just like Google Sheets, QuickBooks, all that kind of stuff. Just software that tracks your fees, all that kind of stuff. Would you recommend someone starting straight to prep centers if they have the capital? Not necessarily, because you're going to lose a lot of flexibility. As soon as you go to the prep centers, then you can't really shift items between listings as easily. You can't do merchant fulfillment. You're slower. A prep center is just never going to ship out inventory as fast as you would, just because it's your business. It's the only stuff that's going through, right? So yeah, you definitely ideally you don't want to go through the prep center right away. You definitely can, but you'll grow a lot slower, basically. Should you always be trying to buy more inventory? Should you wait for current inventory to sell? I mean, yeah, the more inventory you can buy, that's the game, right, Brian? Just make sure you're not buying junk. Don't just like force yourself to buy inventory just to be buying inventory. But yeah, if you can buy, if you can find good quality inventory and it's sitting there and you got the money for it, there's no reason to wait. Yeah, no reason to wait, man. The only reason I would ever be waiting is if you expect like a crazy good sale to come up. So like, for example, November 10th, I'll probably slow down spending a little bit so that I can spend every dollar I have on Black Friday sales, basically, right? If you're anticipating much lower prices soon, then maybe hold out. But that's like the only reason I would hold out. Yeah, Johnny's asking about like back to school. That's another great example. Like right now is a good time to start deploying capital on products that are going to be like very back to school heavy. You probably got one more rotation of products that you can get through right now. Just because it's June, you could probably FBM it, sell it by July, and then use that money in late July, early July to really go hard buying back to school stuff, listed FBM, try to FBA it as fast as possible, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, right now is a great time to be prepping the crayons, the backpacks, the lunch boxes, the new shoes that kids are going to be wearing to school, all that kind of stuff, right? That's a great insight. If you're outside the US, you're from prep center. Yeah, you can go with that, Laney. That's a good way to sell if you're outside the US. Can't wait for the 20th. Can you give a sneak peek? I cannot give a sneak peek. That would spoil the fun. We gotta have too much fun here, right? So yeah, we'll be diving into the software on June 20th. If you guys haven't already seen that, we're launching a brand new Amazon selling software on the live launch party. We're going to do early access. You got to be on the call to get some bonuses, discounts, and it will only be early access. We'll close it off for a little bit after early access. So be on the call if you even think you might want to hop in and save some time and money with us. It's going to be a great time. But I cannot, unfortunately, give you a preview just yet. We got to have a little fun, right? Little fun. Young, we have some lined up. If you're, I want to say you're in the roadmap. If you are, then we have some lined up in the roadmap for you. If not, then just start Googling, sales tax free state prep center. For a new seller, what's a good time for him to sell inventory? Great question, Johnny. If you are FBMing 30 days or so, if you are using FBA, then you'll probably go through basically like the amount of times you'll turn over your money. So from the day you sell or buy the item to the day you get the money back, if you can do that in 60 days with FBA, then you're pretty healthy. That's what we're shooting for. Usually we're like a little bit under that, just being transparent, like, closer to 5.5, that kind of thing. But if you can get it down to 60 days, then that is ideal. With FBM, that's the reason why FBM is so important. You can do it in 30 days because you buy the item, you list it, you sell it in a week or two, you get your money back 2 weeks later, and bang, you get to do it 10 to 12 times a year compared to 5 to 6 times a year with FBA. So that, those of you guys who are watching, you got $5,000 to start, you got $500 to start. You can see how powerful that is when you get to flip your money over twice as many times, basically over the course of a year. Can you show today's sales? I'll see if the cameras will pick it up. But we've been doing pretty good. Yeah, it's been a great week. Let me see. Turn up the brightness on that. Let me turn up. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's this week. It should say 96K right there. There we go. Yeah, so that's this week. Just under $100,000. Maybe I need to get into the repricer so I can get $100,000 week going right there. It's been fantastic, right? Yeah, we're moving into a nicer spot. Launching the new software and $100,000 in a week. That's not a bad week, right? It's been a busy week for sure. Good wholesale website. No one's really going to give you that because a good wholesale connection is literally worth, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, if not more. Plus, if I gave you the names of the distributors that the biggest wholesale sellers in the world were working with, it probably wouldn't matter because wholesale is relationship based, right? So the more you start talking to, a wholesale supplier, the more you're kind of helping them out. So, hey, we can't get rid of this product. You can sell it for break even or 5% profit, whatever. That starts building that relationship. And then the more you build that relationship, the more you're talking with them, the more you understand what they want, the more they're going to understand what you want, right? And so it's the relationship that's valuable in wholesale. It's not necessarily the name of the wholesaler. Start with a local wholesale company. So whatever niche you want to get into, say you're in Houston, Texas grocery distributors, contact literally all of them, right? And then see who sells the brands that you want to sell. See who's like willing to work with you, all that kind of stuff. Who seems like they might be a good long-term connection for you, and then just start building that relationship. Sweet, yeah, you guys are firing on questions here today. What up, Carlos? What up, 100 ROI? Dropping the box emojis. I love it. June 20th, launch party going down. It's gonna be a great time. You only got $200 to start. Should you wait or go for it? Thomas, I'm gonna be real with you. Probably shouldn't do Amazon if you only have $200. Do like eBay reselling stuff. So it's summer, so yard sales are popping. Go to thrift stores, go to estate sales, anywhere that you can get really, really cheap stuff. Like this is what I did. I'm not just like making this up. I had a little bit more money than that, but this is exactly what I did. I just go into places where you get really cheap products, and then flip it on eBay, that kind of stuff, right? You can get the Amazon account to do like used books and like VCR players, DVD players, all that kind of stuff, like stuff that people can't really get brand new anymore. Like you can find those at like thrift stores. Like a photo scanner. I found like a $4 photo scanner at a thrift that I flipped for like $400 or so one time. Those are one-offs, and that's not like, consistent and long-term. That's why you graduate to the bigger business models. But you definitely can get the ball rolling with that, right? So turn that $200, just like flipping stuff, classic, a little bit of like Gary V trash talk style, if you've seen that YouTube series. And yeah, go from there, and then you'll be able to turn that into a real business. But I wouldn't do arbitrage. I wouldn't be reselling name brand stuff with $200. Crayons are not considered meltable. Some of them might be classified as that, but they don't ship Crayola in refrigerated trucks, right? At least I don't think so. But on SellerAmp, it'll show you if it is meltable or not. There'll be a little M in the column. Let me see if I can just get an example pulled up so I can show you what to look for on that. That's a good question. But yeah, some of the products that are marked meltable aren't actually meltable. I made a pretty good amount of money one summer shipping a vitamin product that Amazon said was meltable. No one wanted to FBA it, or you couldn't FBA it, and then no one wanted to FBM it for some reason. Set it out in the southern heat for a day. It didn't melt. It was totally fine. So we just started ripping those FBM. Yeah, made some money on that. Let me see. Do you feel like Amazon reselling will shut down soon? Not soon. I mean, everything's going to have an end date, right? Amazon has an end date. But no, it's not going to be soon. Amazon makes like millions and millions of dollars off of Nike reselling alone, and they do basically zero work for it. That's one brand, right? They make way too much money to want to shut down reselling. They've done a lot to protect resellers against brands that want reselling gone. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about on the meltable stuff here, right? So somebody's asking on like Crayola and that kind of stuff. Like I pull up chocolate because obviously that's going to be meltable. If you are looking at any like the crayon listings, back to school listings, whatever you're looking at, if you see this M right here on SellerAmp, that's telling you it's meltable. And then all that basically means is you can't ship it into FBA during summer months. I think it's April 15th to October 15th or September, something like that. You can't send it into FBA. You can still FBM it. It's up to you to like keep it safe. And some people like ship it in like refrigerated packs and that kind of stuff if there's margin for it. But that's just what you got to avoid for back to school stuff, obviously. DeWalt, Sabrina, I used, there's a website called Acme Tools, ACME. That's what I used. Got ungated improvement. Should you put out FBM? Absolutely. There's a good sale on that right now too, Lenny. Since you're live on the little pro tip for you. Shipping address on the invoice need to match business on Seller Central. The shipping doesn't have to. One of the addresses does, Ali. So everything that I ungate ships to my prep center now. But the billing address is still my business address, so it still works for ungating, basically. What up, Carlos? Dropping the box emojis. Love it, love it. Hope you're having a good one, man. We got the, I was saying at the beginning, we got the sun back today. It's bizarre. I had to close the blinds to stream here. FBM is fire, absolutely. Acme, Sabrina, ACME. Sweet. Yeah. Make sure I'm also going to drop it in the chat again. Make sure you guys are on the list. We got the new software dropping on Thursday. It's going to be a great time. Great time. Been doing RA. Can't seem to find anything. Ronald hit RA. Honestly, RA is like pretty much anyone should be able to find some profit with it. It's just time consuming. It's hard to really scale to the moon. Hit like Marshall's, Ross. Hit the local clothing outlet stores that you have. At the local, let's say you go to like the Nike, Adidas outlet, that kind of thing. I've personally had a lot more success with the clothes at those stores versus the shoes. I know a lot of guys like to look at the shoes. I hadn't really thought about it until I spent a while at that one of those stores, and it was working pretty well, just like looking at clothes and stuff. In terms of like Marshalls and Ross, I have the best success in like the beauty section, and then also clothing. You know, there's like underwear and like basic T-shirts and that kind of stuff, and like really good brands that you can start with. You in Miami? I am in Miami, Johnny. I am indeed. Best niche besides shoes and clothes. I like vitamins, grocery, and beauty for arbitrage. Clothes and shoes is just the easiest to source because there's no real wholesalers on the biggest, best brands to sell. And there's the most competition between the sites that sell it, basically. Yeah. That's why it's so good. Beauty is also really good. Beauty has a lot of like brands where you can just go directly to their site and they run lots of good like site-wide coupons during holidays and that kind of stuff. All they sell is their brand. Their brand sells super well on Amazon, all that kind of stuff. Give us a hint. I cannot give you any more hints than than we already have so far. We got a brand new software coming for you. It's going to save you a bunch of time and money. Someone is asking if it's going to replace Keepa and SellerAmp. I will answer that one. It will not. It will be supplemental to that. It'll make you time and money somewhere else in your business on that kind of stuff. Let's see. Grocery, good niche. Yeah, grocery's good, Merle. It's just kind of hard to source. There's not a ton of coupons on it, and there's a lot of wholesalers. I like grocery. Grocery is very consistent. I would say it takes me the most time per product to source something in grocery, but it also tends to last the longest in terms of how many times I get to restock it. So it's a trade-off, right? Been using the same target invoice to ungate a bunch of brands. Well, I'm glad that's working for you, Ronald. I would just get an invoice for the correct brand moving forward. I'm glad that's working for you, but just in case they ever like come back and retroactively look at that, like I know some people a while back were using like pieces of paper, like pictures of their dog, like that kind of stuff. And some of those ungates have gotten reversed. So just keep it, try to keep it a little bit by the book, but I'm glad that's working for you. Keep ripping it if it's working. Just don't be surprised if you need the real invoice before too long. From the islands, retail is an option to do online arbitrage. Yeah, that's a great one for you. Plenty of good like Father's Day sales going on right now too. So yeah, you can check out go to like SalesGazer, Retail Me Not, just start popping open a bunch of the biggest retailers in general. Look at the banners, see, oh, Father's Day 20% sale on almost everything, all that kind of stuff, right? Or Father's Day 30% off this category. Like there's a lot of that going on right now. There's also just a lot of like random sales that they're not calling Father's Day sales, but they kind of are. And yeah, you can roll from there too. Yeah, keep submitting, Sabrina. That's normal. Unfortunately. Yeah, we had to submit, 10 or so times for a brand we ungated the other day. What about auto niche? You saw automotive? Yeah, a little bit, man. I've been getting into it. It's a good category. The only thing I'll say is it can be really hard to figure out like which parts are the same sometimes, unless you're like a car guy. Like, some of the parts look really similar, and it's like kind of hard to vet, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's a good category because it's an ugly category, right? No one wants to talk about selling auto parts. Everyone wants to sell the Nikes and that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, if you can find some good products there, then absolutely. We've been adding a little bit more of that to our catalog. More returns in auto than I expected, which kind of makes sense. Like, they changed their mind. They don't want to fix the part or whatever it is. Like, they couldn't figure out how to do it. Whatever they run into. But it is pretty good. Moving to Miami next year. That's what's up, Johnny. Still time for back to school stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I would say like the sourcing for back to school stuff probably started this week, basically, because we're not going to start seeing significant back to school volume for 5 to 6 weeks from now. Mid-July it'll start picking up. So 5-6 weeks from now it'll start peaking. It'll be really, really strong through early August, and then all the way through kind of early September it'll start tapering off. What up, Sadiq? Dropping the box emojis. You love it. You love to see it. June 20th, you guys get to see why everybody's dropping box emojis everywhere. We're doing the live launch party on Thursday night. Got some Adidas now. They're letting people in. Should work for it. Probably will work for Adidas Original, Ronald. I would rip that. Yeah, they've been like randomly closing off some of the premium shoe and clothing brands and then like reopening it. So I wouldn't be too worried. Just kind of like be dialed into the community. Just pay attention. So when people say like, "Oh, this brand's back open," so to just go submit an ungate request. Because like for like the Nike ungate, basically it was open for like a couple weeks. Everyone who submitted is now able to keep continuing to apply. So all you need is to just apply while it's open, basically. They're probably trying to get rid of counterfeiters, all that kind of stuff going into back to school Q4. They start doing a lot of that, basically. Why SellerAmp show buy product at a negative price? Because that seller, whoever's selling it, is not making money. It's basically why. Yeah, it's basically why. Can you talk about what happens when someone returns an item? Yeah, good question. So let's say it's an FBA order, right? FBA customer, they're going to ship it back to Amazon. Amazon's going to say, hey, this item got beat up by the customer. It's in bad shape, that kind of thing. Ships it back to you. Honestly, a good amount of the time, they just say, oh, it's in perfectly fine condition, goes right back in your inventory, and then you get to sell it again, basically. If it is a little bit beat up, or they say it's beat up, it gets shipped back to you. I would say, I ran the numbers on it. About 40% of the inventory that Amazon sends back to us where they say it's unsellable, still in completely fine condition. It's just warehouse workers clicking the wrong button, lazy, whatever it is. So we ship that back in, and then whatever's left of that, we'll like sell it on eBay, Mercari, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Really annoying how everything's gated at the beginning. Yeah, that's that. We've all gone through it, Ronald. It definitely was annoying, but later on you'll be glad that there's just a little bit of a hurdle to get people who don't want to spend any effort. The type of person who won't spend 5 minutes on gating is the type of person who's going to panic and start dropping prices and just making Amazon worse overall, right? So you'll be grateful for it after you're through it. It is a good thing for Amazon sellers. It just protects the platform, because then more counterfeits would be on the platform, all that kind of stuff, and then customers wouldn't shop. We'd lose less. We'd lose money, all that kind of stuff. Do vitamins have a lot of IP complaint? It depends on the brand, Merle. So let me let's pop this open over here. So yeah, if you're trying to figure out like what gets IP complaints and stuff, there's a really good just like free resource for that. Let's go here. You can just plug in whatever brand you think you haven't sold before, that kind of thing. So Kong, I know, is a notorious like IP complaining brand. It's a free website you guys can check, by the way. Nice little SellerAmp placement there too. Yeah, so you can check like Kong. I can't sell that, basically. We could also see they're pretty good about kicking people off the listing. Maybe we can find a quick example on one of these Keepa charts here. But if you ever see like a lot of sellers getting kicked off the listing all at once, that's also a pretty good sign that there's been an IP complaint, basically. You'll see it a lot on like as seen on TV products too. Let me see, is any of this? That's not a bad example. So you see how right there it goes from 25 sellers to 12 sellers basically overnight. Usually you'll see it where it goes, 15 to 3 or 20 to 5. A bunch of sellers all get kicked off at once when the brand decides that they don't want basically random people selling their product. So just look out for this schema pattern. Check this. There's like a free database here, and then between that you should be good to go. Let's see. Sign up for seller account with an LLC. Requires bank account. Bank account's brand new. You could put a transaction into it then, Piero. Like get your Keepa subscription or your SellerAmp subscription or something on there, and then you'll have something to show. That is weird. I don't know how no one's ever asked me that before, but that does make sense. It's chicken before the egg situation. You have to have a transaction to prove, and you can't buy anything before Amazon approves you, basically. That's funny. How can you put your prep center cost into SellerAmp? Yeah, we can look at that real quick. Basically, it's just on the back end. You can add whatever fees you want onto the back end. Let me get to my settings here. So yeah, let's go here and settings. Yeah, so if you're trying to add like your miscellaneous costs for things, so like for example, average cost to ship to Amazon these days is around 60-70 cents a pound, right? So you can have that baked in, and then on your fee calculation, it's going to I guess it's further down here, total fees. Yeah, so it's gonna start baking in that inbound shipping per whatever you are basically told SellerAmp your shipping costs are. So in this case, 60 cents a pound. This product must weigh like a fourth of a pound or something like that. So it's going to bake it in, make sure we actually make profit. Prep centers is also a good one. So let's say you pay a prep center like $1 a unit. You could bake that in right there. And then that is going to start showing up on the prep fee. These are all added on there, and then it'll kind of lower your profit by $1 or $2, just so you're actually making money. Yeah, Piero, asking about the website for the IP stuff. It's just Seller Journal Greenlight right here. You can grab it from that's the URL right there. But yeah, good question on that. Are you a programmer? Unfortunately, I dropped my my computer science minor. Now that we're involved in 2 software companies, it would be very nice to be able to come in and help out. But that's why we hire much smarter people than us to to come in and build good tools for you. Sourcing for Polo and Reebok's profitable as well. I don't know if I've ever sold Polo before, but Reebok for sure. Yeah, Reebok can be pretty good. Ask your bank for a statement of account to show that the bank's account. Yeah, that's a good tip, Andy. I didn't know about that. Yeah, I guess I'd never really heard about that before. That makes sense. There was already transactions in my bank when I signed up. I guess most people probably do as well. That's funny. Is there a way to check how much Amazon charges you for shipping costs? Yeah, so Johnny, go into Seller Central. And then FBA shipments, and then you can start to just open a few shipments from there. Start calculating like the average cost per pound that you're getting charged. Just look at 5 or 10 shipments, and then bake that into your SellerAmp fees, and then just keep that updated as you go. And yeah, that'll be a good way to make sure you're actually making profit. Sweet. I just want to sell a collectible book. Can you get if you're just trying to sell a book, fun boy, you might as well just eBay it or that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, you can do all that to get set up on Amazon for sure. Books are great though. That's where I started. It's not the most scalable business model, but it's definitely great to kind of get your feet wet, start making some sales. You pay $1 for a book there, sell it on Amazon for 20, 25, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's how I started. Yeah, Piero, this live, I'll keep the live up. It'll just be on the channel. You can come back and watch it if you want. What do you think about Amazon lending? Amazon themselves stopped lending money, but there is still money through their partners, basically. So like I know Goldman Sachs under like Marcus. I've taken a line of credit through Amazon that was offered like through Goldman Sachs, basically. Amazon doesn't do them anymore, so I think it might only be lines of credit. I think there's some new companies that are doing loans too, though. But yeah, it's a great way to get some loans. Because you like at a local bank, they're going to want like 2 years of income, all that kind of stuff to give you a loan. Amazon can look directly at your sales. They say, oh yeah, based on the sales, this guy can probably do a $25,000 loan, that kind of thing. And you get much bigger offers through Amazon because they understand what your business is doing a little bit more. You got a couple books. Yeah, then just get your Amazon seller account set up, man. Plenty of videos on the channel and on YouTube and walk you through setting all that stuff up. How do you buy a certain quantity of items if websites have a minimum order? Well, a minimum order would be great. Usually it doesn't matter if you just want to buy as much as you can. I assume you're talking about like a maximum order, in which case I just place multiple orders. Like a lot of websites will limit you to 5, 10, or 12. I'll just place multiple orders of that. Makes it easier if you can find a few other products that are on the same website. So most of the time when I'm placing orders, it's 3 products from 3 products at the same time. So I'm buying 30 items and all that kind of stuff. Why don't you start? Wholesale isn't less hassle than OA. Wholesale is much harder than OA to find products. It's a lot of relationship building, all that kind of stuff. It's not the magic bullet that the gurus want you to believe. And I've heard that from a lot of very smart OA sellers, especially recently. Wholesale is getting a little bit tougher. A lot of smart wholesale or OA sellers, they go try wholesale. Like, man, this is a little bit harder than I thought. Let me go back to OA and keep making money. You can definitely do both, though. Like some people, wholesale is just going to click for. We do a little bit of wholesale, but OA just makes more sense. I like scaling the OA business better. It's kind of just whatever your preference is there. People like to have a little superiority complex about the business model, that kind of stuff. But whatever makes you money is the best thing to do for you, man. If you like wholesale, then go for it. I would not do that at all, Ken. Please do not get a HELOC to buy Amazon inventory. As good as Amazon is, it is a risky business. Is risky. All business is risky, right? So please do not leverage your home on Amazon products. Stores for online arbitrage. Yeah, I've got several hours of live sourcing content on the channel. You can see like what sites I like to look at. I can show you I show you like what I'm looking at, what good products look like, kind of when to find, like how to find the best sales, all that kind of stuff. So I just start watching some of the live sourcing videos here on the channel, and you'll see basically. It's just a lot of the biggest websites out there, though. A lot of people think we're buying from tiny secret websites and all that kind of stuff, but the vast majority of my inventory is bought from probably the same sites that you guys source at. Sent 17 by box, they charge $7. I mean, just like cost per pound. That's just division there, Johnny. When you place multiple orders, you pay the handling fee. You shouldn't be buying from anything that has handling fees or shipping fees or anything like that. Most of the time, it's like $25, $30 an order for free shipping, basically. Some sites will make you pay for it, but as long as you bake it in. Is there a way to speed up Amazon payouts? You have $1,000 in reserve that's just sitting there mocking you. That's funny. You can eventually, after you sell for a while, you get daily payouts, but there's always a 2-week reserve. So you're always going to have the 2 weeks where you sold the item 2 weeks ago. You're going to get paid for that money today. Right now, you're probably getting paid every 2 weeks for the sales that happened 4 to 2 weeks ago. And eventually it'll change to what I was just describing. Oh, it seems simple. What's the catch? Brad, to be honest, it is simple, but it takes a lot of hard work. That's the truth to it, right? It's simple to go and find a sale, look at the items, and compare to Amazon. It's simple in concept, but it just takes work. So like building the systems and understanding, how to just kind of eyeball items and skip past it and know what might be a little bit more worth your time and diving into, like that's the learning curve. And that's what takes people after interviewing, 40, 50 Amazon sellers who are doing, at least $10,000 a month. A lot of them doing like 7 figures. Pretty much all of them say somewhere around like 2 to 3 months, things start clicking. And most people just can't get there. They're just not willing to put in the time. They're not willing to put in the effort. And that's why we can sit on here and help people sell on Amazon. We've been doing it for like 3 years now. And almost no one can sticks with it. But the people who do, they're making money. I can't think of anyone who's been with it for, putting in consistent hours for, for a year plus. That's not making good money. It's just time consuming. How you ship shoes without the box? You cannot, Louise. You need to have a box. You can try a brown box. It's technically allowed by Amazon. You might have higher returns though. What's OA? Online arbitrage. So that's just buying, for example, I showed an Instagram reel of like a Puma slide today that's profitable. So we can buy it for $10. We can sell it on Amazon for $25. I mean, make like $5 on that. And just OA is just buying a whole lot of that. Yeah, Carlos said the catch is learning a lot. Yeah, exactly. There's no catch beyond hard work. About to apply to ungate. Want to make sure do things properly. Would you recommend highlighting anything on the invoice? Yeah, you definitely can, Ollie. Highlight like the product you bought. Highlight your address. Highlight any of the information about the company that you bought from. All that kind of stuff. And yeah, you just make it as simple as possible. Like you can read the guidelines that they have for that ungate application and just show everything as easily as possible on there, basically. Amazon wants to assign you a seller account rep. Is this legit? Are you selling a good amount, man? Because if you are, I know they do. You can buy an Amazon account rep, but you have to pay for them. And it's not cheap. It's like a couple $1,000 a month. You watch your content now. You make $5,000 a month in sales your first month. That's what's up, Luis. Congrats, man. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. $5,000 in your first month is very good. Like a lot of the people who I've seen that go on and like absolutely crush the game, they started doing like $5,000 to $10,000 in their first month. It's hard. It's pretty hard to do more than that in your first month unless you have some experience reselling already, basically. So that's awesome. Keep it up, man. We see place multiple orders and there's a max order limit. Not usually PR, like good websites that they'll be worth your time and worth time spending money, or worth your time, like, you know, going through and spending time on the site. Like those sites aren't going to cancel too many of your orders. To be honest, like if I'm going to war and like fighting everything I can to get an order to go through, I'm not going to sit there and fight it for super long. I'll just go to a site that wants my money. A lot of sites will forget you too. So if you start getting cancels, then just come back after, you know, a week, 2 weeks, a month, start testing it, feeling it out, that kind of thing. You and your friend run nonstop grinding, trying to host it on the channel one day. That's what's up, Luis. Keep it up, man. Let me know. Keep popping in here. Keep me updated on the progress. And yeah, we can do a little interview once you're crushing the game, once you're making great money. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Those are my favorite. That's my favorite. I've been making videos on all that kind of stuff for long enough now that some people will say like, oh, your interview with this person is why I started Amazon and now I'm here. Those are super fun. Those are super fun conversations. What's coming out Thursday? A brand new Amazon selling software, Barn. I can't tell you too much more than that right now. It'll save you a bunch of time and money for your business. And then yeah, we're also doing a live launch event. Which I'll drop in the chat for you guys. We're doing a live launch event on Thursday night with some exclusive bonuses. That's going to be early access as well. So we're going to be closing it off for a little bit after the launch event, just so we can take care of everyone who's kind of the day one supporters, all that kind of stuff. You're also going to have access to the lowest price that we're ever going to offer on this kind of stuff. So if you want to get it in like the beta early access type thing, come to the launch party on Thursday. I'm also probably just going to go ahead and wrap up here. Great energy with you guys. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hope you had a good day with the fam, all that kind of stuff, hanging out with kids. And yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys. I'll probably be streaming before Thursday, but make sure you're registered to come to the